Welcome to my last prediction for the Kcse 2021 Mathematics Paper 2. I'm going to deal with Section B only, and I know you're going to be blessed, and I know you will get the concept. It might not be the same question that you expect, but at least the idea that I'm giving out might appear. So it's good that you use the idea to do more revision in preparation for the paper on Tuesday. I wish you all the best, and I know you'll perform well. Let's start with question number 17. It's a question on probability. That in a science class, 2/3 of the class are boys and the rest are girls. 80% of the boys and 90% of the girls are right-handed. The probability that the right-handed student will break a test tube in any session is 1/10, and that of the left-handed students is 3/10, regardless of whether boy or girl. Draw a tree diagram to represent this information. So the first thing you do here is just the interpretation like we have done. So you realize that you are told here that we have boys and we have girls, and in this you are told that 2/3 of the class are boys. So 2/3 are boys. So 2/3 are boys, and therefore 1 minus 2/3 you get is 1/3. So the girls are 1/3. And then you are told that we have the left-handed side, left-handed and right-handed. We have we start with right-handed. Let me start with right-handed. If I start with right-handed, so we have right-handed student, and we also have left-handed student. Either boy or girl, we have the right-handed and the left-handed student. And then you are told that 80% of the boys and 90% of the girls are right-handed. So boys are 80%. That is 80 over 100. If you put 80 over 100, so this is it is 8/10. So 8/10 of the boys, 80% of the boys, 80 over 10 are right-handed, meaning that 10/10 minus 8/10 is 2/10. So 2/10 are left-handed for the boys, 2/10 are left-handed. And then you are told that 90% of the girls are right-handed. So right-handed is 9/10, that is for the girls. And therefore left-handed is 1/10, that is for the girls. Good. So from there you proceed. You are told that the probability that the right-handed student will break a test tube in any session is 1/10. So there is breaking of the test tube and not breaking the test tube. I can use this to mean not breaking. Can say breaking, not breaking. Can I have breaking, not breaking. Can also have breaking and not breaking the test tube. Now you are told that the probability that a right-handed student will break a test tube in any session is 1/10. Breaking a test tube right-handed is 1/10. So, being a right-handed not breaking the test tube, the probability is 9/10. So, despite doesn't mean as long as you are right-handed, breaking is 1/10, whether you are a girl or a boy. And not breaking is 9/10. As long as you are either a girl or a boy, breaking is 9/10, not breaking is 9/10. And that's for the left-handed students. Left-handed students breaking is 3/10. If you are left-handed, breaking a tested tube is 3/10. That is the probability. And the probability of not breaking meaning is 7/10 if you are left-handed, 7/10. So if you are left-handed, will be the same whether a girl or boy is 3/10 breaking, and not breaking is 7/10. So here we mean that we have what we call boy. This is right-handed and breaking. Then here we have boy, right-handed but not breaking. Just read this and this. Here we have boy. This is left-handed breaking. Here we have boy, left-handed breaking, not breaking. Here you have a girl, right-handed breaking. Girl, right-handed not breaking. You have a girl, left-handed breaking. You also have a girl here, left-handed not breaking. So the questions are: question number one of that, after presenting, you score your 2 marks for drawing this one. Then the next question is that you tell us that using the tree diagram, you find the probability that a student chosen at random from the class is left-handed. A student chosen at random from the class is left-handed. So the point that the student is left-handed is either a boy and left-handed or a girl and left-handed. So it is probability, that is Roman 1. It is probability left-handed. It's probability boy. It is a probability the boy left-handed, or probability of a girl left-handed, which is equal to probability of boy is 2/3, and left-handed for a boy is 2/10. Then plus, or means we add, probability of a girl is 1/3 times probability of a girl left-handed. Probability of left-handed is 1/10. So this gives you 2/3 times 2/10, 1/3 times this gives you 2/15. This is 2/15 because 2 times this is 4 plus over 30 is like 2/15, plus this gives you 1/30. 1/30. So this gives you 1/6. And then that is part B, Roman 1. Roman 2, the question is asking about that a test tube is broken by a left-handed student. A test tube is broken by a left-handed student. So it is either a boy left-handed student breaking a test tube, or a girl left-handed breaking a test tube. So it is probability. It is the probability boy, because the question is that a test tube is broken by a left-handed student. It's probability boy left-handed breaking a test tube, or probability of a girl left-handed breaking a test tube. Boy left-handed breaking a test tube, or girl left-handed breaking a test tube. So it is which is equal to boy left, it is 2/3 times left-handed is 2/10 times breaking a test tube, in that case is 3/10. What you get, plus the girl, now it is a third, times left-handed is 1/10, then times breaking a test tube is 3/10. This gives you, that gives you or this gives you 4/75. Just multiply using your calculator, plus 1 out of 25. This is 1 out of 25. It gives you 1 out of 25 plus this other one gives you 1 out of 100. And finally the probability is 1 out of 20. Now there is part 3. Roman 3 is asking that a test tube is broken by a right-handed student. So it is probability boy right hand student breaking there, or girl right hand breaking. So it is this or this one. So it is 2/3 times 8/10 times 1/10 plus, so it will be probability, that's Roman 3, right-handed a test tube being broken by right-handed student, probability is 2/3 times 8/10 times 1/10. Whatever you get, you plus probability of this, the girl now right-handed, that's a third, times right-handed is 9/10 times 1/10 breaking, that is breaking is 1/10, or this gives you 4 out of 75 plus this one gives you 3 out of 100. When you add the two, you'll get 1/12. Now, and finally the question is, at least a test tube is not broken in any session. Probability that a test tube is not broken in any session, that is very simple. Probability that a test tube is not broken in any session is very simple. probability that it's not broken in 9 sessions. So it is this one, that is this times this times this, you get this one. You add this one for the boy left-handed and the boy right-handed not breaking. You also add this one, or you also add this one. Or in simple terms, we have found the one for breaking, whether right or left. Now we add this and this one. So if you add this and this one, you subtract from 1, you get the probability of a test tube not being broken in 9 sessions. So it is the same as 1 minus, you can do either way and you get the same answer, 1 minus 1 over 20. This is 1 over 20 we got here. That is breaking is 1 over 20. 1 over 20 plus 1 over 12 for the right hand side, 1 over 12. You add the 2, you subtract from 1. So this is the same as 1 minus 1 over 20 plus 1 over 12, you get 2 out of 15. And you subtract the 2, you get 13 out of 15. 13 out of 15. So that is it. And then from there, or you do the other way. That's what you're supposed to do. From there you score 10 marks. That is how you score 10 marks freely without struggling. As long as you draw the right tree diagram, all the rest of the work is just interpretation of the question. It's just language. If you get the language correct, from there everything flows without struggle. So that's what you were supposed to do. Now we look at the next question. We look to our next question. That is question number 18. We get question number 18. You go to our next question number 18. So now that we have done all that, I've shown you how to do it. Now that you understand how to do this question, you can solve the questions. You can do more practice on using mathematics made familiar, because that is where I get my question from, and that is where even the Kcse come from, only that they change values, but they repeat the same questions. They don't get questions from anywhere, they just get from made familiar. Now the other question was using a tree diagram drawn, find the probability that a student chosen at random from the class is left-handed. We have done that. A test tube is broken by a left-handed student. We have done it. A test tube is broken by a right-handed student. We have done it. And a test tube is not broken in 9 sessions. We have done it. So you can practice more questions on this probability. And then question number 18 is that a tank has 2 inlets. That is tab P and tab Q, and an outlet tab R. When empty, the tank can be filled by tab P alone in 4.5 hours, which is the same as 9 over 2 hours. That is 8 times 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9 over 2 in improper fraction hours, or by tab Q alone in 3 hours. Now, when full, the tank can be emptied in 2 hours by tab R. So the tank is initially empty. Find how long it will take to fill the tank. How long it will take to fill the tank. Now what to do, you are told that the tank is initially empty. The tank is initially empty. Now we are asked that we find how long it will take to fill the tank if, that is condition number 1, if tab R is closed. Remember, tab R that is emptying is closed, and the P and the Q are opened at the same time. So we have P and the Q that are opened at the same time. So in this case, what you do, you need to think of P in 1 hour. What is the fraction of water that P will fill in 1 hour? Fraction of water filled by water filled by Q filled by P in 1 hour. P in 1 hour in 1 hour equals to, remember P, it takes 9 over what? 9 over 2 hours to fill the tank. So if 9 over 2 hours, so that means in 1 hour, it is 1 out over 9 over 2. 1 divided by 9 over 2, which is the same as 2 over 9. 1 divided by 9 over 2 is the same as 2 over 9. You get 2 over 9. 2 over 9 of fraction of the tank. 2 over 9 units will be filled in 1 hour. And Q 1 hour will fill in 1 hour, tab Q, because it takes 3 hours. So in 1 hour it will fill 1 over 3 units of the tank. And then, so both P and Q in 1 hour, P plus Q in 1 hour, 1 hour, it will fill 2 over 9 plus a third. So the water in the tank will be in 1 hour when the two are opened at the same time, will be 5 over 9 of the tank, 5 over 9 fraction of the tank. That is what will be filled in 1 hour by the two. Then, how long will it take the two to fill? So, if 5 out of 9 units is only 1 hour, what about the whole thing, which is 1? A whole fraction, which is 1. It is how long? It's 1 divided by this, which is the same 1 times 9 over 5. This is the same as 9 over 5 hours. 9 over 5 hours, or in simple terms, if you divide this one, gives you 1 hour and 48 minutes. 1 hour 48 1 hour 48 minutes. So if all the 3 tabs are opened at the same time, so in 1 hour, when 3 are open, the 3 tabs, 3 tabs in 1 hour, what is the water? Fraction of the water is the 2 of them, that is 5 over 9, minus, because the other one is emptying, minus the other one, that is R, is in 2 hours, which is a half, so it is minus a half. That's the fraction of water that it can empty in 1 hour. So minus a half, you get, when you minus a half, you get 1 over 18. You get 1 over 18. So the longer it will take is that you argue that if 1 hour, the water in the tank will be 1 over 18. What about 1 full unit? How long? It will be equal to 1 divided by this one. 1 divided by 1 over 18. So it is the same as 1 times 18 over 1. Times 18 over 1. This gives you 18 hours. That is the time it will take when the 3 are opened at the same time. When the 3 are opened at the same time. Now we move to the next question. The next part of this question is that the next part of this question is asking that we find the next part of this question is asking that we find his rates of work. Now the next question is that we good is that the tank is initially empty and the 3 tabs are opened as follows. So the 3 tabs will be opened as follows. That is, P will be opened at 8 a.m., Q will be opened at 8:45, and R will be opened at 9 a.m. You find the fraction of the tank that will be filled by 9 a.m. By 9 a.m., that means we find the fraction of water that P shall have filled and also Q shall have filled. Remember, from this time, from 8 to 8:45, P will be alone. So the water that will be filled by P alone, water filled by P alone is, remember we said that P in 1 hour, it fills, that is P in 1 hour, P 1 hour, we said it fills 2/9 of the units. So what about 45 minutes? Because it will fill 45 alone, that is 45/60. It will fill that alone before the other one is open. So for 45/60, it will be 45/60 divided by 1 times this. So it is equal to 45/60. That's what it will fill alone times 2/9. It will fill alone before the other one is opened. It shall have filled 1/6 of the units. 1/6 of the units. Shall have filled 1/6 of the water. A sixth of the water. Now, then the other one is opened by 8:45. So they will run together. They will run together for 15 minutes. So if they run together for 15 minutes, we need to know that the water they will fill. Remember, the two of them fills. We said that P plus Q 1 hour. In 1 hour, we realize that they will fill 2/9, like we said, plus 2/9 plus it was that is Q was filling 3, that is a third. So it was filling what? The two of them in 1 hour, they'll fill 5/9 units. Now what about the 15 minutes? 15 minutes, it will be 15 minutes will be 15 all/60, the two of them. In 15 minutes they will fill 15/60 times 5/9. In 15 minutes the two of them will fill 15 times 5/9, that gives 5/36. Will fill 5/36 of the water. That is P and Q in 15 minutes. P plus Q in 15 minutes. They will fill this 5/36 of the water. Now that means from 8 to 9, the water that will be in the tank will be equal to, water in the tank will be equal to 1/6 that Q shall have filled alone plus 5/36. 5/36. So if you add the two, 1/6 plus 5/36, you just use your calculator, you get that the water that will be in the tank, it is 11/36 units of the water. Fraction of the tank. Now, then we are asked that we need to use this one. We shall use all this that we have found here to handle this other question here. So we are asked that we find the time the tank will be fully filled up. The time when the tank will be fully filled up. Now, you are told that R was opened by 9. So when it was opened, the water it can put, when the two are open, water in tank, when that is P plus Q plus R, when the three are open, in 1 hour, in 1 hour, the water in the tank, we said, when the three are running, the water in the tank, we said, will be 1/18 units. 1/18, because we said it's 2/9. that is 5/9, when the 2 minus a half, that is for R, is 1/18 units. Now, this is the water that can be in the tank for 1 hour. So, if they can fill in 1 hour, 1/18. Now, we need to know the remaining water. The remaining water for the tank to be full. Remaining for the tank to be full. Remaining is 1 minus 11/36. That gives you 1 minus 11/36 gives you 25/36. This is the water that is remaining, 25/36. And then we know from my argument above is that 1 hour, the 3 tanks can have water in the tank 1/18. So what about 25/36? How long will it? How many hours? It is 25/36 divided by 1/18, which is equal to 25/36 divided by this one is times 18/1. This comes here 2 times, so this gives you times 18/1. This gives you, this is 1, this is 2, 12.5 hours, or 12 and half hours, 12 and a half hours. This is the same as 12 hours and 30 minutes. It will take 12 hours and 30 minutes. So the time it will fill, it is 9. Remember, by the time it was being opened is 9:00 plus now plus 12 hours and 30 minutes plus 12 hours and 30 minutes, 12:30. This gives you 21:30 hours, or in simple terms, this is 9:30 p.m. 9:30 p.m. That is the time the tank will be fully filled. That is the time the tank will be fully filled. So that is how you are supposed to handle that question. And sure, you go to your Med Familia and look at the question of 2016. Question of 2016 on the same, so that you revise question of 2016 on the same. Question that was there in 2016 on the same. You also go through it for your better understanding, because those are 2 different questions. This one and the other one, they are 2 different questions from the same topic. So if you understand this concept and understand the other one, that is question of 2016, the question of 2016 on these compound proportions, you get it, so that if you have the 2 concepts right, then you wait for the paper. If the question appears, then I'm sure you'll do it well. Now we move to the next question. Now, this is a question on circles, that is properties of a circle. It is from Form 2 topic. You use it together with Form 3 topic on circles and chords. Now this is a question that is probably might appear. So what you do, you go through the Kcse Med Familia. There are some questions that if you can go through. There is a question on the same, that is 2016 too. You look at the question of 2016 on chords and circles. Question of 2016, you go through it, chords and circles. Now, let us do this one. The question is talking about the figure below shows circle center O. PQRS, we have P, Q, RS is a secret quadrilateral. It's a secret quadrilateral. So the first thing you can do here is just join this. Sorry. You just if I join this one, it makes now the secret quadrilateral. Now you realize that these are called PQ. This is to the center O. So I can easily say that angle POQ. Remember, QOS is a straight line. QOS is a straight. So this is a diameter. So if this is a diameter, the angle that the diameter can subtend at the circumference is 90. So the angle here is 90. So if the angle here is 90, so we have here is 20. Because this is 70, this is 20. This is also 90 here. The whole angle here is 90. Because this is still the diameter, it will subtend at 90 degrees at the circumference. That is properties of a circle. The angle subtended at the circumference by a diameter equals to 90 degrees. We also understand that if this is the center, we can easily find this angle. Because these are called PQ, subtends an angle at the center. Angle subtended at the center is twice angle subtended at the circumference by same chord. Chord PQ subtends this angle, this 70 degrees here. This angle is subtended by chord PQ at the circumference, and the same chord PQ subtends this angle here at the center. So this angle is 140 degrees. 140 degrees. So there are some things that you can look at them before you even continue doing the question. Now the question is asking that we give reasons for your answer. We find the size of... There are some things that you can continue even doing. That this is a chord. If you look at this 70, this side and this side you are told is equal, that this side and this is equal. So that means if this 70, you can get this angle, the base angle of isosceles triangle. So 180 minus 70, you get 110. 110 divided by 2, this is 55. And this is 55 here. This is 55 degrees here. We can interpret the question before doing. And you also know that this is a chord here. So this chord subtends this angle at the circumference. The same chord subtends this angle here at the circumference. So chord QR subtend at S here an angle which is 55 degrees. Because the angle subtended by this chord here, it subtends this angle. The same chord subtends this angle here, 55. So this angle here is the same angle here. And then you continue. If you continue, you realize... good. Let's answer the question. We give reasons, we find the angle PRS. We are asked the angle PRS. Already is gotten, it's 20 degrees. PRS is 20 degrees, and the reason, but you must give reason, you must write and give reasons. So the reason here you state is that you first of all need to show me that this angle is 90 degrees. That angle, I need to show that angle SRQ equals to 90 degrees. By saying that in brackets, I say angle subtended by diameter. at circumference. Angle subtended by diameter at circumference is 90 degrees. And if you know that's 90 degrees, and we know that angle PRQ, we are given angle PRQ as 20 degrees, PRQ, we are given it as 70 degrees, equals to 70 degrees. That one is given, and therefore angle PRS angle PRS equals to 90 minus 70 degrees, which is equal to 20 degrees. So you must show this one for you to score the 2 marks. For you to score these 2 marks, you must show that. Then we move ahead. And do the next question is that we find angle BOQ. Angle, this is Roman A, but B, we find angle BOQ. Angle BOQ. Angle POQ, I've already found is 140 degrees, so but we must show it. It is 140 degrees, so you must say that angle POQ equals to 70 times 2, which is equal to 140 degrees. But you must give a reason. Angle subtended at the center by a diameter is twice angle at the circumference by the same diameter. Angle subtended by a diameter at center by angle subtended by a chord, not the diameter but by a chord at center is twice angle subtended by the same chord at circumference is twice angle subtended by same angle subtended by same chord at the circumference. So the angle subtended at the center is twice angle subtended by the same chord at the circumference. Now part C, we find angle QSR. I've shown is 55 degrees, but I've given the explanations. QSR, you will explain and say that QSR is first of all you must show that this angle, the base angle of isosceles triangle, because side PR equals to side RQ as given. So Q, you must show that angle RQP equals to angle RPQ equals to 55 degrees. Angle RQP equals to angle RPQ, which is equal to 180 minus 70 all over 2. This gives you 55 degrees. In brackets, some angle of a triangle. This is we talk about base angle of isosceles triangle. Base angle of isosceles triangle. base angle of isosceles triangle. Then from there you move ahead and give more explanation that the chord RQ subtends angle, this angle. So angle QPR, angle Q, or angle RPQ. Angle RPQ is the same. RPQ is the same as QPR. QPR equals to the angle I'm asking, that is angle QSR, that is what is the question asking, is equal to 55 degrees. You must give explanation that there are angles subtended at the circumference by the same chord. Angle subtended at the circumference by chord QR. Chord QR, that is the chord QR. Chord QR subtend that angle at the circumference. Chord QR will subtend that angle at the circumference. You must give that explanation. And then finally, the reflex angle PO, the reflex angle P, angle POS, angle POS, angle POS, reflex. You need to find this angle, then you subtract from 360. And this angle is one angle on a straight line, that is 180 minus 140 is 40 degrees. So angle POS itself is 180 minus 140 degrees. This gives you 40 degrees. Angle on a straight line, you must give that explanation. Then you say angle reflex POS is 360 minus 40, that gives you 320 degrees. 320 degrees. So that is what you are supposed to do in such a question. That's what you are supposed to do in such a question. Now we go to the next question. The next question is about a graph. The next question is a graph. That is a quadratic graph. That is a quadratic graph. Now, a quadratic graph, what you need to do is on how to fill. You must know, you must fill the table correctly, and if you are able to fill the table correctly, then everything that follows is always faster and easier to do. Now, the next question is on a graph. Now we talk about we look at the next question, number 20. You complete the table. With this x cubed, that is cubic graph. You press -5 here. You just use a calculator and press -5. Make sure you have bracket, -5, close the bracket, have a cubed, then plus 4 bracket, put -5, close the bracket, then square, then -5 bracket, -5, then -5. You'll get the answer direct. It will give you the answer direct as -5. Repeat the same process, you get this to be 15. Repeat the same process, here you get it as 13. Here you get as 3. Then here you get as -5. Here you get as 9. It is good when you find -5, that is y. So that means that curve can have a straight here. There is this a turning point. So you better calculate the turning point or just use a value here 0.5. Mid-row 0.5 so that you see where it will turn. 0.5. So if you use 0.5, you substitute and find a value. You'll find as -5 point something, so that you move just downward a bit then you turn. So you need to find somewhere where you're going to turn, or calculate the turning point by using the differentiation method to find the turning point. So after doing that, you're supposed to draw the graph. Now on the graph, you draw a graph of the same from -5 to 2 as the values of x. Now what you do, you just plot like -5. We found -5 is -5. So when we have -5 and -5, you plot. Then you have -4 and 15. You have -4, you go, and 15, you plot. So you make a good scale, and then you plot. Then from there, you're able to plot all the points. You plot that curve. After plotting the curve, you have 3 marks for plotting that curve correctly. So for plotting the curve correctly, you have 3 marks. Then the next part is that you're asked that you use. Let me move, then I'll come back. You move. You're asked that by drawing a suitable straight line, solve the equation. You're told this x cubed plus 4x squared minus 5x minus 5 equals to -4x minus 1. This is an easy question, but somebody might get confused. So this one means that, remember, this one equals to y. So that means the equation we are going to draw, it is y equals to -4x. When they are equal, meaning where they will intersect, that's the values of x. So -4x minus 1. So what you do, you make a table for this one. You make a table for this one. You say x, and then you say y. Then you make a table, like I can start with x is 0. If I place 0 here, then here is -1. X, if it is 1, if I have a 1 here, so this is -4. -4 minus 1 becomes -5. I can have more values so that I can be accurate. If I try with -1, for instance, so that I go the other side, -1 will give me 3. I can go the other side with 2, that is -4. If I go 2 of them, and the right hand side 2 of them, -4 gives me 15. So I can use the same values and now plot the line. So like I said, -4 was 15. I have -1 is 3. -1 is 3 here. Then I have 1 is -5. If you deal with 1 is -5. And 0 is -1. 0 is -1. If you have a 0 is -1. Now you have plotted these points. These are the points. You draw a straight line. So this is the line y. Ensure you label the line. So after you have drawn the line, we are told that we use it, the tool you are using to solve. So what you do, these where they meet, that is the values of x. You read the values of x as 1. So the values of x will be the values, that is the second part of the question. The values of x will be equal to, the values of x will be equal to, this is 1. We have, of course, x is also what? X is also here at negative is around, the cut around here, -0.8, because this is a 2. 10 of them is 1, so 1 is 0.2. So it is -0.8, like -0.8, and also x is at this point here, like -4, like -4. You do it accurately, then you read the values. Then the first question was that you were to solve the same equation you were given when it is equal to y. That means the y equals to 0. So the x-axis, where it cuts x-axis, is at this point, -4.8. Negative x will be equal to -4.8. And then it also cuts at this point, that is at negative, exactly here. This is remember this is 0.5, 0.6, around 0.7, negative 0.7, and also at the first question was and also at this point, which is at this, which is 1.5, that's the values of x, the values of x for the first one. And the second one, it will be here 1, it will be here at negative 0.8 because of this. It's 6. This was 0.2, 0.4. Yeah. Oh, the x-axis. This is not supposed to be 0 point. It's supposed to be, that is for the x. It's supposed to be, this is 0.5 is here. 0.7, 0.8, around 0.8, but it's not at actual 0.8. So you have 0.7 is okay. Then this one is 0.8, like I've done, and also negative 4. So yes, so that is how you solve the question. Then you score your 10 marks as long as you draw accurately and try to read accurately. So that is what you do. Then you score your marks on this. The graphical has no problem as long as you have a good scale and then you draw, you try to be accurate. All is well. All is well. Now we move to another question that we use the trapezium rule with 6 trapezia. We use trapezium rule with 6 trapezia. Trapezium rule with 6 trapezia to calculate the area bounded by the curve y equals to n squared plus 3n plus 1, the x-axis and the x-axis and the ordinates x equals to 0 and x equals to 3. Now what you do, we need to find h. We need to find the height. We need to find the height. And we say that h equals to x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is 0, all of the number of trapezius or strips, and the strips here they are 6 here. We told 6, so this gives you half. That's the height, and therefore we need to get x and the y. We start from 0, 0.5 because that is half. Next is 1, next is 1.5, next is 2, 2.5, and then finally 3. So y, we substitute here, just press 2 into brackets, 0, then if close the brackets, you square, then of course this gives you 0, then you add 0, this gives you 1. You now do the same, 0.5 you square, then you times 2, you plus 0.5 times 3, you plus 1, you get this one to be 3. If you use your calculator correctly, you'll find 3, 6, then you'll find 10, 5, then 15, 21, and finally 28. We know that area equals to h over 2, h over 2 into y1 plus yn, then plus 2 into y2 plus y3 plus yn minus 1. So this one, h is half divided by 2 is a quarter. So this gives you a quarter. the first y is 1 plus the last y is 28. 1 plus 28. Then plus 2 into the rest. The rest is 3 plus 6 plus 10 plus 15 plus 21. So this gives you a quarter. A quarter into, this is 29 plus all this you add. When you add all that, then you times 2, you get 110. All this gives you 139 times a quarter, so you divide by 4. So this gives you 34.75 square units. Square units. So that is how you do, and then you find your area. Now after finding the area, we are asked next that we find using the actual method, that is the integration method, to be the actual value. We find the actual value using integration method. So if we take the integration to be the actual, then later we find the percentage error in using mid-ordinate rule. It can be mid-ordinate rule, but then we are doing trapezium, but a question can come on mid-ordinate and not trapezium, but you need to know the concept. So we move to the next. In my previous tutorials, I've talked about mid-ordinate rule. Now the next question is that we calculate the exact area. We calculate the exact area by using integration. So integration, that is not the symbol. The symbol of integration looks like this. We integrate. The equation given is 2n squared plus 3n plus 1, that is dn. So when you integrate this one with respect to 3, 0, because you were given from 3 to 0, so you get n cubed all over 3, which will be 2n cubed, 2n cubed all over 3, then plus 3n squared all over 2, then plus n. Because these are 0, we can do with only 3. Because we minus 0, it is still there, the answer for 3. So we substitute only 3, it gives us what? It gives us 3 cubed all over 3 plus 3 squared all over 2 plus 3. So if you do all that, it gives you 18. This first one gives 18 plus 13.5 plus 3 plus 13.5 plus 3. If you add all this, gives you 34.5 square units. So that is the area. So from there, the next question is that the percentage error in using percentage error, it is the 34.75 that we found minus 34.5 minus this 34.5. This one for integration is taken to be actual of 34.5. times 100. You do it, you'll get it will be 0.246%. So that is how to find the percentage error. So that's what you were supposed to do. That's what you were supposed to do. Now we go to the next question. We go to the next question. We go to the next question, and the next question is on tax, income tax. Now for this one is very simple. The only tricky part is that you look here. This is per month, and this is in the rate percentage. So that means your tax that you are going to get is in pounds. The tax you are going to get is in pounds. So to get the taxable income, we are told that this guy earns a basic salary of 18,000, entitled to a house allowance of 6,000. So the taxable income equals to basic salary plus allowances. That is 18,000 plus 6,000, which is 24,000. In Kenyan pound is 24,000. So the basic salary, taxable income will be equal to 24,000. That is 18,000 plus 6,000 plus 6,000. This gives 24,000. We divide by 20 to get in pounds, in Kenyan pounds, 1,200 Kenyan pounds. Remember, 1,200 will be over. So, to get the tax slab now, the first slab, so that we find the payee. First slab is 236 times 10 over 100. This gives you 236 times 10 over 100 gives you 23.6. So it gives you 23.6. Remember, this is in Kenyan pound. Whatever you get is in Kenyan pound, because this is just a percentage, so you are using the Kenyan pound. So it is 23.6 Kenyan pounds. The second, ensure you subtract 472 minus 236, you still get 236 times now 15 over 100. You still get 35.4 pounds, Kenyan pounds, 35.4 Kenyan pounds. The third we are here, 78 minus 472, you still get 236. So it will be 236 times 20 out of 100. This gives you 47.2. It gives you 47.2 Kenyan pounds. 47.2 Kenyan pounds. So the next is the fourth syrup. Fourth syrup, you subtract 944 minus 708, you get 3236. You times 25 over 100. This will give you 59. It gives you 59. So the next is the remaining. The remaining will be equal to just 1,200 minus 944 gives you 256. So remaining is 256 times 30 over 100. This gives you 76.8. So total tax, you minus the relief to get the payee. So our payee, you minus the relief. Will it be equal to, if you add all this, you get when you add all of them, you get 242 times 20, 242 Kenyan pounds times 20. It gives you 242 times 20 gives you 4840. Now you minus the relief 10. You're told the relief is 1064. If you minus, then you get your pay as your pay. You subtract the 2, gives you pay as 3,776 37. You get that 776 37. This is the payee. The payee is 37.76. Then from there you are asked to find the. After you find the payee, you can easily find the net pay. The net pay, it is. You need to find the total deductions. Total deduction. Will be equal to, this one is one of the deductions, 37.76, the pay, then plus the what you are given, all these 580 plus 360 plus 800 plus 3,000. So you'll get them the total deduction to be 8516. You get that to be 8516. Now, meaning that to get the net pay or net salary equals to the taxable income, which is 24,000, less 85. This gives you the net salary as 15,484 per month. So that is the net pay per month. Net pay per month is 15,484. So that is how you do on tax. This was a straightforward question, but it needed some thinking because you must look at the slabs. If you fail to understand the slabs, you do your own things, you will not correct it right, you will not get it right. So you need to know about the slabs and how to do it. And then you understand that you are getting your tax in pounds. Then later you change them to shillings by multiplying by 20. So you needed to know that. Then from there you are good to do the question like we have done. Now we go to the next question. The next question is on 3 dimension. Just look at this diagram correctly and you will be able to do the question on your own. That is, the figure below shows a rectangle ABCD with AB 60 centimeter, that is A to B 60 centimeter, BC 45 meter. We are talking about meters, not centimeter. PN is a vertical pole. PN is a vertical pole of length 30 meters to which the fourth out wire P, P1, C, all these wires are attached. So from there, if you looked at the diagram and maybe you write that question down, you write the question down, you can pause and write it. Then from there, the question is that we calculate the length of the projection of PC on the plane ABCD. You can write these questions. The angle PC made with the base ABCD. You can also write the angle between the plane PCD, BBC, and ABCD. And also if point A is on the north of point C, calculate the pairing of B from A. You need to know this and do it. Then the last question that I'm going to do is a question on this one. Most likely you will find such a question, either geometrical progression or arithmetical progression or a combination, but you're likely to find this question. So this is a question that is very common in Kcse. So this is my last question that I want to tackle now, is that the second, fifth term of an arithmetic progression are 8, 17 respectively. So you are told that the second, remember the second of an AP is A plus D. So the second, fifth, so this one equals to 8. And the fifth we are told is 17. And the fifth is A plus 4D. Gives you 17. From there, you are told that the second, the 10th, and the 42 terms of the AP form the first 3 terms of the geometrical progression. So first of all, we find the first term and the common difference. So from here, I can find the first term and the common difference. These are two equations, two simultaneous equations. If I subtract, this becomes 0, and this becomes negative 3D equals to negative 9. So if I divide by negative 3 by negative 3, I get D to be equal to 3. So if D is 3, I substitute even in the first equation as A plus 3 equals to 8. Then meaning that A equals to 8 minus 3, which is equal to 5. So I know the first term is A equals to 5, and D is equals to 3, and D equals to 3, and that is what I'm asked. So you score your 3 marks, as simple as that. Then from there, you are told that the second, the 10th, and 42th term of the AP. Remember the second is, we'll talk about second is A plus D, which is equal to A is 3, A is 5, and D is 3, so this gives 8. We are told the second, the 10th term equals to A plus 9D, which is equal to A is 5, 9 times 3 is 27, so 27 plus 3 gives 32. 27 plus 5 gives 32. 27 plus 5 gives 32. Then we are told that the fourth second. So the fourth second will be equal to A plus 41D. A plus 41D, which is equal to A is 5 plus 41 times 3. 5 plus 41 times 3 gives, that is 5 plus 123, that is 128. So it gives 128. So those 3 terms, they form the first 3 terms of the geometric. So the GP is 832, 832, and 832 and 128. From there you are asked that we find the first 3 terms of the GP and the 10th term. The first 3, these are the first 3. 10th term is for a GP 10th. The 10th term equals to AR power 9. So we can easily find R equals to 32 over 8, which is the same as 128 over 32, and that gives you 4. So the 10th term is A, which is 8, times R is 4, power of 9. This gives you, that gives you 20. You just multiply using your calculator, you get 20, 29, 7, 152, 152. That is the 10th term. That is the 10th term. So that is how you do it. Then we move to the next part of the question. Sum of the first 10 terms of the GP. We are asking about the sum of the first 10 terms of the GP. Now to get the sum, there are two formulas: when it is greater than 1 and when it modulus, and when the modulus is less than 1. When modulus is less than 1 and when modulus is greater than 1. Now greater or equal to 1 and when it is less than 1. Now there is now to get the sum of the first 10 terms, the sum of the first 10 terms, that is what the question is asking. Now we know that to get the sum is A, when it is modulus is more than 1, A into R power n minus 1 or over R minus 1. So our A is 8 into R is 4, 10 terms, n is 10 minus 1 or over 4 minus 1. So this gives you this gives you 8. You multiply by what you get here, you get 10, 48, 575. Then you divide by 3. So the sum will give you 279, 6, 200. Just use a calculator and then you get it right. Just use a calculator and then you get it right. So that is what you are supposed to do. That is what you are supposed to do. Then I want you also to look at the Mediba Familia Geometrical Progression question of 2016. Geometrical Progression question of 2016. It's a nice question, so you do the same. You do the same question for your own benefit on how questions can be asked, So you look on the Mediba Familia question of 2016 of geometrical progression, then you do it. After done with that, you will be good to go. Now I am done with it, but I have another prediction here. Question number 25. I'm predicting on the sine waves and cosine waves. So if you find this question filling the table is not a problem, from my previous tutorials you can look at them. It is the same question that I've done before. Then you draw the the two curves I've shown you from previous tutorials, and then if you are asked that you use to solve where the two curves meet, you read the values of x's, and then from there if you are asked to determine the amplitude, like here the amplitude is just 3, like here period is 360 divided by these 2, which is 180, and this is 360 divided by 2, which is also 180. This is 180, and this is 3. So that is how you solve this question. So I wish you all the best for the paper on Monday. Remember to subscribe to my channel, and I wish you success, the Form 4s, and I know you're going to score well. You're going to get an A if you followed my tutorials from Prediction Series 1, Prediction Series 2, and this prediction for Section B. This prediction for Section B, if you follow them correctly, the questions might not be similar or exactly, but the concepts will be similar. So just have the concept